everyone, Andy here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make a triple item door lock. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, this is a system that I came up with myself, and I know it's quite a lot of redstone for one system, which is just to open the door. But how it works is basically, you know how normally you have a button which will open the door once, like that. Well, basically how the system works is it makes it so that, also this is completely pointless now that I think about it, but how it works is you press the button once, doesn't do anything, twice, still doesn't do anything, but on the third time it then opens the door and you can come through here into your secret base or whatever you want to protect. So how you start off building this system is place down your iron door and build a sort of small frame around it and place your button here. Don't place it here, because if you place it here, it will open the door normally. You want to place the button over here, so that if you press it, it won't open the door. Now what you're going to want to do is to come around the back, and go to the block where you have your button, and then put a dispenser behind it. And if you press the button, you should hear this clicking noise. There you go, so now you know that dispenser is being fired by that button. Now what you're going to want to do is to place down 2 hoppers. So if you place down a block that's 2 blocks away from the dispenser, and then place down 2 hoppers while facing that block, and they should both face this direction. So the next thing you need to do is go to the last hopper that you placed, put a block on top of it, a redstone torch next to it on one side, and a comparator on the other side. And then what you're going to want to do is to place 9 blocks of redstone dust over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is where you should be at now. So what you're going to need to make this system work is 3 non-stackable items. So I'm going to be using swords because they're whenever I think of a non-stackable item, I think of swords. And put the 3 swords or non-stackable items or whatever you want to call them into the dispenser. And then build up a sort of protection thing around this hopper, so that when the dispenser fires the items out, then they will not go anywhere else. Now you may have seen when I pressed that button, this redstone line lit up, and that's kind of the main point of this system. So we have 1 of the non-stackable items in this hopper, and then this comparator is detecting that there's a non-stackable item in there and giving out a redstone output of 3. And so if we want 3 button presses, then we'll have 3 items. And for an example, I'll just put a redstone lamp at the end of this. So as you can see, with 1 item that's not powered, and with 2 items it's still not powered, but with 3 items it is powered. And basically that's how it works. So when we get a big enough redstone signal, then it will open the door. Now what you're going to want to do now is a bit more complicated. You're going to want to come around to the redstone torch over here and place a repeater right there. And then you'll want to get yourself some redstone dust and just make a line of redstone going all the way along here. I know it links up to this, but we'll fix that in a second. Actually, thinking about it, it's probably a better idea to just make this all out of redstone repeaters. Make sure they're all facing the same direction. So now you're going to want to come to the end of our redstone line, where our lamp was before. And if I place a repeater here, that means that the signal will be boosted, so I can use it for other things. So now if I bring this redstone dust down here, this will then link up to our system, which will deactivate the redstone torch over there. And then what we'll also want to do is, once we have built up this wall, give me a second. So once you've built up that wall, you're going to want to come all the way over to your door, and go to the block next to it, dig 1 underneath, right there, and place a redstone torch. And it should then open the door. And we don't want that yet. So what you're going to want to do is to find the block with the redstone torch on it, go to the block next to it and place a repeater down. And then you will want another redstone torch here. So basically how this works is, so when our system fires, it will toggle this redstone torch, which then toggles this redstone torch, which will open the door. So now you should have dug out a sort of trench underneath your wall here. so that you can get to this redstone torch, and then add repeaters and or redstone dust, whichever one you want, all the way along here until you reach the place where this is. Then simply put a piece of redstone dust down here, make this lead down here, and this is now all linked up. So now this should be partially functional. So if I just block off all of this, we have 1 button press, 2 button press, 3 button press, and then it opens the door. But you see, the problem we have now is that we can't actually close the door because those swords are stuck in this hopper because there's no other hopper to take them to. So we're going to work on that now. So what you're going to want to do is to go over to here, mind that you don't edit any of the repeaters by accident, and place a dropper facing upwards over here, and then another hopper leading into that, and make sure that all of these hoppers lead into each other. And that should be okay. Now it's time to build my favourite redstone system in the world, the comparator launcher. So as you probably noticed during the time-lapse, I did have to swap out part of my redstone system. Before I had a piece of redstone dust here, and that would link up to that. That would break the entire system, so just make sure that this system doesn't coincide with this one. So now all you've got to do is to make a line of hoppers going all the way from this dispenser over here. Going from this hopper over here all the way to the dispenser over here. And then that means that this dropper, this is the special thing about droppers, is that although they can drop items, they can also put things into storage containers, so stuff like hoppers. So if I put an item in here, it would be launched into the hopper, then go through this hopper line all the way into the dispenser, and that's what we're using to return our non-stackable items to the dispenser, ready for the next kind of opening of the door. Now the last thing you're going to want to do is to, well, there's 2 ways of doing this. Either, if you want to make it look nice, you can cover up the redstone, or if I'm honest, if I was putting this in my base, I'm pretty proud of the redstone system I've made here. So I think what I'd do is I would probably just make a kind of glass case around it. If I did this, say, and then this was a corridor going to my base, then that would work well for me. So if I came through the door, I could see all of this amazing redstone that I've made while I'm coming into my base. And then you can also just build a kind of storage container thing around this. And we are now officially done. So this is the finished redstone contraption. We come in here and we press the button once, press the button twice, press the button a 3rd time, and then it opens and we can come through. And then we just walk through here, admire all our redstone work, and that looks like it's just reset all of our non-stackable items. And we can just walk through here into our completely non-existent base. Now what you can do if you want to just add something to the system. So currently we've got a button on the outside, and we walk in, and yeah, I've put a button on the inside as well. So if I do 1, 2, 3, then I'm let out. So basically, it's just powering the system from the other side. So we have 3 button presses to get out as well as in. And I'm going to end off the video there for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I just want to say I'm really proud of the system myself. I actually came up with it maybe a month ago, and I just haven't had a chance to test it yet. But I'm really glad that it works, and if you want to use it in your world, then feel free to. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!